Hi, welcome to Clutter Bravado.
Yes, and it's the energy. It's not just about the stuff.
So we should probably just get into it, right?
Let's go.
Good morning. How are you?
Well,
Yeah?
yeah.
What's happening in your life?
So I'm discovering a new, how do we say it? Hobby?
Hobby?
I don't know how if you say that a hobby.
What is it?
Well, I've taken a couple acting classes
You're
thanks to you.
taking acting classes. I didn't think you were going to tell the podcast.
I
I thought that
didn't
was a
think
secret.
I didn't think that I would be doing that either. But it's been really fun to discover. I mean,
Yeah.
partly for because of the podcast, partly because of you, and partly because it was a dream. And so I've been doing that, and it's been really fun. And reading about it, and learning about the whole history also of theater and
Yeah.
film, and it's fascinating.
Talking to all these people who are in that industry has started to inspire you.
They're inspiring. I mean, at the same way as our design community inspires me.
Yeah.
That community is also inspiring.
Yeah.
They put on plays, and the musician. I mean, it's just the creativity of it all. I think gives me, in times where the news is shitty, and I'm it's not a political thing. It's just the news is shitty all around.
The news is shitty all around.
I think that meeting people like that and being around, either the design community or the acting community and the artist community that way, kind of gives me hope. I think that's what.
Well,
I think
at
that's
least
what
it's
it
like
is.
it's something fun to do that doesn't have you focused on the hellscape that we're kind of in.
Right.
Yeah, where it doesn't feel as daunting because you're surrounded by a community of supportive people. Like in the design community, that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, is because it's so supportive and because people are so like open and welcoming and to, oh, you're a designer, amazing. I know all these, being able to create a beautiful network that way. And it really does work the same way within the right creative communities in like acting and in entertainment too. Like they say it's all about who you know. And in a lot of ways it is, but it's mostly because people are supporting each other. Like I think Eric Toms, when we had him on, he said like the rising tide raises all ships. Like, yes, that's how it works in both industries. And it's nice it's actually been kind of fun with you because I've had a bunch of auditions lately. I'm also, fully back in it. I took a short little stint away for a bit and really like grounding my feet back into acting and doing a few auditions a week now, which has been, it's so fun, but you've been helping me with them.
Yeah, I mean,
and I love it. It's so fun to play off you and like how you are looking at a script. It's actually been really fun to be able to do that like outside of the design,
right.
Because that's so much a part of your life. It's so much a part of my life, but it's almost as if we're like blending a little bit. I was like an actor and in entertainment, kind of interested in design. You're a designer, kind of interested in acting and entertainment. And now here we are right in the middle. And our podcast has become a perfect blend of the two, I think.
Right. And I think that the message, I guess, if I have any message, we talk a lot about going to shops or going to art galleries or supporting the arts in terms of design. That's always been a big thing. I think that the culture of a country is important to support.
Yes.
It's not just about money. It's not just about money and when or fame. Or I think that art, be it restaurants and culinary, when you find a good restaurant, support it. An art gallery, a designer, shopping local. I mean, I've always been very much a proponent on that. Now I'm discovering a whole new world where go to a theater, go to a comedy club. I mean, those people need us like to the nth degree.
Yeah.
And making that effort instead of staying home and watching, the Instagram.
Yeah.
Or just, and it's not like you have to do it every day, but once a month, just open up that door and be like, let's go to a theater play and let's go.
Yeah.
It's really fun because those people put their fucking heart and soul in that thing.
Yes. And that's where they want to be too. I was thinking about this recently because I know a lot of content creators that are content creators for a living, that are creating short videos and reels and TikToks, and that is what they're doing for their job. But if you asked any of them if that is where they see themselves in 20 years and like what they really want to be doing, I think most of them would say, well, no, that's not my actual dream, but it's something that's needed right now. And it's where people's attention is. So I wonder if we start paying more attention to the theater, to the live performances, to the indie films that are screening around town. Like those, especially in LA, we have such access to that. And the people that are making that, like that is their dream. Getting to support someone as they are living their dream is such a beautiful thing. And we have the ability to do it here. And it's, obviously, yes, in the arts, but that's what I mean in going to an art gallery, supporting a smaller gallery that's showing an artist's solo show for the first time. There are so many different ways to support it. And I do agree with you that when we acknowledge this as being culture, like this is what we do, this is who we are.
Right.
And that it's not all about like trying to chase likes and trying to get your engagement. Like, who cares, And at the end of the day, all of those insights and numbers and data and everything, like if the power's turned off one day, all of that disappears. But what doesn't disappear is someone's ability to sing or to act or to tell a story. And all of that is so, so, so important.
So I'll finish with the anecdote about last night. We go to a cold table reading called Second Draft in Los Angeles, and we do that every Monday. Yesterday I walk in, there's a guy there who I know from the gym. So we've become friendly. He's Italian. We've become friendly, but he's there and jumps up, comes sees us because we're probably the only people he knows in that room, and it makes him feel good. And he says that he's a writer. That's his first time giving a script to the actors and he's so stressed. I mean, you saw him. He's nervous. He's stressed. It's really like palms are sweaty.
I mean,
mom spaghetti.
For a first-time writer at Second Draft, it's got to be pretty daunting because you're submitting 10 pages to be cast by the hosts and the people that run it, by actors that are just showing up because they love the passion of acting and they love getting to sit down and look at these scripts. So he had come there with 10 pages of a script that no one had seen. And he's never been to Second Draft before. And so I imagine his heart is beating through his chest.
The whole, there is five scripts, right?
5 scripts that they do.
5 scripts. Yeah. He's the last one to go up. I can see him. It's just like I think he wants to leave. At some point, I'm looking at him, I'm like, he wants to just leave. And the group of actors that they had on stage, Eric Thomas was the lead. Everybody is just so spectacular on that stage that I'm like, okay, well, they cast, not the A-team, but they cast some of the better people that I've seen there. And the whole thing is hilarious. It's so good. People are laughing. And Ivan is just in heaven.
Yeah.
And when we left, his smile was spectacular. And he made me so happy. Happy. And so those are little, moments of joy and happiness that don't cost any money and that uplift my day.
It was my favorite thing about that was because for every writer, when they put up a script and when everyone is seated on the stage, they'll come up and do a little intro about it. And the way he described his script, I'm not going to spoil it too much because I think that he should be putting this out there.
He will.
But he's like, I hope that this is at least the funniest thing you've heard written by an accountant tonight. And that's the thing. He's been in the entertainment industry for a long time in the finance side. But at the same time, he has this love and this passion for writing. And that's the thing. Like I'm so glad that you were able to tap into that for you, that you're like, I've always kind of wanted to act and see what it's like. And you get to explore that. And I think if there's, this is the time. This is the time. I've always been interested in interior design, and I get to now, I get to play with that and explore it and see how it feels to make those decisions and make those choices. And you're now making those choices and acting. And I think it's so fun.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Again, I think that I was thinking about it last night, and definitely for me, the community is what matters. Be it in design, be it in antiques. I was, when I used to do antiques, I used to be, the head of the antique show, not for my personal fame, or it was just because I was supporting the whole group of dealers, to put up a show. I just realized that being part of a community is such an important thing for me. And I don't know where it comes from, but I just have to accept the fact that I love people, and I love to be, or try to be helpful at least.
Yes. It's interesting too. I want to get to our guest, because I know our guest because he's one of my yoga students.
Right.
And he also has a podcast. His name is Sam Dever. The Sam Dever podcast. We're actually going on it today.
I know.
I'm so excited about that. And the Produce Your Passion podcast. He has so many creative outlets, and it's all around bringing people together and creatives together that are sort of from like all across the board. So it's sort of a little bit of everything. And he's an actor, and he's really passionate about like helping people produce their passion, which is the name of his book. And it's also sort of his ethos. And having him on as a guest was such a joy. He's so fun. And he's also so optimistic and so supportive. And that kind of energy is intoxicating. And it's also, it's something that like now I want to share with other people.
It's funny. He's one of the few men. Jeff Saad is one. Sam is another one that was just so supportive of the podcast, even when, sometimes you showed up, or I took a few of your classes and I had met Sam there, and he was just like big grin, keep going.
Yeah.
And he was intoxicating. It was also for me, looking at him, I'm like, that's my role. And it was one of the few times where I had someone tell me, just keep on going.
Yeah.
And that was, I love him for that.
Yeah. He's incredibly supportive of all sorts of creators. We went to his event in Malibu too. We talked a little bit about that on a previous episode. But we've just, he's such a beautiful person, and he was a joy to talk to, and getting to know a little bit about how he got to where he is now and where he's looking at going from here. And I'm really excited about going on his show today. I think that's going to be great. He's great at asking questions, and getting him to not ask us questions and just like having him be the one interviewed.
I know. It was a challenge.
A little bit of a challenge, but it was a joy to have him. So, should we get to it?
Oh, let's go.
Hi, this is Elise from Clutter Bravado podcast. Clutter Bravado is an independent podcast, and as any independent artist will tell you, getting off the ground is a little challenging. If you like what you're hearing, please like, comment, share, subscribe, support us in any way that you can on the platform where you're listening. And follow us on Instagram at Clutter Bravado for exclusive clips, events, and giveaways. We quite literally could not do this without your continued support. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for listening. Tell your friends, and please follow and subscribe so that you can be the first to have access to our latest episodes. Now, back to the show. Welcome to Clutter Bravado. We are here with our guest, Sam Dever. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Sam.
We haven't had too many pro podcasters on. And so I think you might be our second. This
Oh
is
my
so
gosh.
exciting.
Yeah, pressure.
No, it's pressure on us too, because I'm like, okay, like he's been doing this for a lot longer than we have and has a lot of episodes. And so it's a joy to have you on and to sort of talk about what it's like to be an artist in LA and a podcaster and an actor and everything else that you do, another multi-hyphenate creative. So
I love that term, multi-hyphenate, by the way.
Yeah?
And just wanted to say thank you to both of you for this opportunity. I'm a huge fan of your show.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been binging the content. You guys have a great thing going here. This goes well beyond podcasting with what you're doing. So I love your brand, both of your personalities, great chemistry. So it's an honor to be here.
Thank you.
You have been, because I met you, I don't know, at the beginning, right? It was
right away.
We met at your yoga,
Yeah.
and you've been such a positive and supportive influence. I can't tell you how important it is, because sometimes, it is and I were like 3 views, and I saw you that Saturday, and you're like, keep going, and and I'm like, thanks. So
and then I went and cried in the shower.
Yeah.
But
It's
thank
tough
you,
out
'cause-
there. It is tough out there, but it's so important to have a strong community of other people, other creators who know what it's like and know the process. So speaking of knowing the process, I want to talk about how you got into where you are now. And I know that it's a very long story, but you come from Illinois, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, is it like a small town
Good
in
research.
Illinois?
Yeah. Canton, Illinois.
Canton,
Yeah.
Illinois. Where is that located in the
So
state?
if you've heard of Peoria, Illinois, 30 minutes from there.
Okay.
Everyone assumes Chicago, but no, we're 3 hours south of Chicago, in between Chicago and St. Louis.
Okay.
So the San Luis Obispo, if you will.
of Illinois.
Illinois, yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting because I've driven the long way through Illinois like a handful of times, and you get to a certain point of when you're outside of Chicago, 2 hours outside of Chicago, where you're like, oh, it keeps going. Oh, this is
wow.
this is a big state. There's a lot of space there, and it's a lot of nothing for the most part. Was that your experience?
Corn to your left, beans to your right.
Exactly.
That's where I come from.
Yeah.
With some wilderness timber here and there.
Here and there, yeah, from Wisconsin. So exactly the same thing. Yeah, surrounded by cornfields and soybeans on all sides. Yeah.
Huh. I've never been there.
I don't know that you're missing anything. After all, Sam came out here.
Right. No, look, I've said before, one of the biggest, most incredible experience was to drive across country.
Yeah.
I was 16 years old. I went from San Francisco all the way down to South Carolina with my host family. So we went, and it was just like, this country is big.
Yeah.
And there are roads I think I missed. I was supposed to help my friend drive while the parents were taking a nap, and we missed the one right-hand turn in Nevada or something like that. It was just like freaking road that was so straight, and I think I missed the only right turn.
Oh
so
my
we
gosh.
had to, suddenly it's like 40 miles later, you're like, something wrong.
Oh no! Getting lost in the middle of nowhere. There's a lot of middle of nowhere in the United States. But you came out first to Arizona. Is that correct?
Wow, you did research.
I did research. I do.
Yes,
I stalk
Tucson,
people,
Arizona.
yes.
Oh, wow.
So senior year of college, shout out to Western Illinois University. I remember walking to class, and the wind chill was like -12 that day.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And where I had to park at the rec center and walk all the way to the business building where I was going to class, and the wind chill, it's not the snow, it's
Right.
the wind chill.
Yeah.
It literally needles hitting the face.
Yeah.
And I
Freezes your eyeballs.
I had to use a lighter to light because my keyhole had iced over on my car, and I think I was running behind, and I didn't have time to really scrape the windshield, so I was looking out the door on the safely as I could,
looking out the window. Yeah.
And I remember just having this moment of, I'm done with this. I'm done. I want to go west. I don't know how or where. And when a couple buddies, when I graduated, were like, hey, we got another year at the University of Arizona. We just got this house. We need a third roommate. I just said, yep. Packed up the Impala and
Wow.
just had Been out west
Wow.
ever since.
Wow. Yeah. Gosh, I
Wow.
had such a similar experience when I was in Milwaukee. I had sold my car and I was just taking public transportation, which is easy to do in Milwaukee. But I was waiting for a bus and it was negative 40-degree wind chill.
Oh, geez.
Yes, it was during like the polar vortex or whatever they called it. And negative 40-degree wind chill. I'm out there in 2 pairs of socks and tights and like 2 pairs of pants, like layered up, to the point that when the bus drove past me, I couldn't run after it. And I stood there. I'm like, I think I'm done here. I'm done here.
I'm done here.
Yeah, I don't need to do this ever again. And I never want to experience winter like that ever again.
That's
yeah.
why people out here are like, oh, don't you miss the seasons and all that? Fall, yes.
Yeah, fall.
Midwest
Absolutely.
fall, nothing like it.
Gorgeous.
Other than that, those 2, maybe 6 weeks, 2 months or 6 weeks that you get of perfection,
Yeah.
you're paying the price in thunderstorms,
Yeah.
severe cold weather, tornadoes, all that
Tornadoes.
stuff. I'm good. LA, sunny every single day, mountain, sunshine.
Does
blue
it get
sky.
boring?
I love it.
No, it doesn't.
love
It
it.
doesn't get boring at
No.
all. Yeah.
No.
When you've experienced the wind chill, it's
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. So you came out to Tucson first.
Yeah.
Did you have at that time the idea that you were going to move out to Los Angeles and pursue being an actor?
Yes, I had the idea I was going to move to Los Angeles.
Okay.
Acting, not as much so. I was more into music back then.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, music, and this is back when Facebook and YouTube were just getting started.
Yeah.
I had the, oh geez, I hope you guys don't search this, but you might. It's called SJD TV.
What
It
is
was my
that?
initials, Samuel Jacob Dever, and I had a flip cam. I was doing what everyone's doing now with their
Yeah.
iPhones well before anyone was even thinking of that, along with some other bloggers.
Yeah.
And recording everything I did
Oh,
and doing
wow.
vlogs out of it.
Okay.
People thought it was the weirdest thing ever, but I started cultivating this little online following, and I'd
Mm-hmm.
mix the music I did and went in with it. So I knew I was evolving to entertainment in some aspect,
Yeah.
not classically trained acting yet.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, LA, that's where you need to go. And then I lived a year in Arizona and got the opportunity to move to Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to Vegas, and it was just, I'm 23 years old.
Yeah.
So it was like kid in a candy store. Like the timing of going there at age 23, I called it my grad school without the degree
Yeah.
Right.
because of the
Makes
party,
sense.
the partying part. But the nightclubs, the music, the art that's there, I just
Yeah.
fell in love with it, and I just forgot about LA completely for
Oh,
a few
wow.
years.
Yeah.
Oh, so you lived in Vegas for
Vegas for 7.5 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was it like to leave there when you had like really put your roots down and you were really planted in Las Vegas? What inspired you to move out to LA?
Crazy story. I was at a photo shoot for something, and a shooting star. We were out in the desert. A shooting star went by, and I don't know if you guys get these like intuitions that it's something just keeps calling you. It's like nudging you. And then I had forgotten about LA for years, but like the year leading up to LA, it just started coming back. And this is when I had gotten into acting. I got an opportunity to do some acting on a series. Shout out to Ogino called For a Fee.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay, I really love this. I got to find an acting class. So I jump into an acting class. And my acting teacher there, his name's Daryl Morris, told me, you got to go to this place called Playhouse West in LA if you
Oh,
ever go to
wow.
LA. So the LA was kind of germinating
Yeah.
in my mind a little bit. And this shooting star goes by, and everyone's like, oh, make a wish. And I'm like, I'm going to move to LA. And then about 5-6 months later, my job at the time says, yeah, you can transfer out there and go. And my brother's like, yeah, I'll come with you, because he was coming back and forth for what he did in production. And I'm like, all right, let's
All
move
right.
to LA, and just
Yeah.
did it. So it was like a very gradual thing. But then, yeah, about 2 to 3 months before, like, okay, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because I was turning 30, and I don't know if it was a 30-year-old crisis going on, but I'm like, if I don't do this now,
Right.
I can always go back to Vegas. It's still
Yeah.
like a second home to me, but I need to go out to California and see what that's all about.
Yeah. So starting off as an actor in LA, I mean, that is the story of so many
Yeah.
people that move out here. We're like, I'm going to come out to Los Angeles and I'm going to be an actor.
I'm going to be a star.
I'm going to be a star. When I moved out here, I knew I was going to model. I wanted to
Yeah.
model first, but I'm like, and while I'm modeling, I'll be discovered as an actress, and then I'll be a movie star. And that's
I'll
how
be
it was gonna
famous and
go.
rich, and then we don't have to worry about
And then I
anything.
never have to worry about anything ever again.
Worked out well so far.
hey, go easy. I've been here for 10 years. That has not happened yet.
That's a huge accomplishment.
But what's amazing is like LA is a perfect place for creatives. And we talk about that a lot on this show. So you came out here wanting to initially be an actor and you got to do that. But what was the process like of like, what was your hazing process of moving to Los Angeles? Because everybody kind of has one. Like, what were the obstacles that you were facing when you first got here?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I was fortunate to know ahead of time about Playhouse West.
Okay.
On night 3, I went and audited, signed up everything. And it was almost instantaneous. I got this community of people like instantly. And I'm sure it's like that some other places too, but I was just, for them in particular, it's just such this community of acting and artists and people who are multi-hyphenated, such as yourselves. And I would say the hazing for me was more of just the being humbled very quickly.
Yeah.
Because I remember coming out here, I'm like, oh yeah, you just go to LA and you just start doing stuff and you go in movies and then you'll start auditioning for all this big stuff. And I remember a couple of my classmates who had been out here were like, hey, let me tell you how it works out here. They said, first of all, you need to train, first and foremost. If you're not going to train, no point. You're just not going to wing it and get parts. You need to know what you're doing. This is like an art, a skill, etc. Second, once you get trained and you know what you're doing, get stage time, etc., you need to figure out what your type was. I'm like, type? I'm like, what, are we dating? Or what is, they're like, what's your character type? Like, what type of roles do you need to go? Because you need to sell yourself to an agent, to a manager. You need to get representation. And then you start low. You're going to be doing a lot of student films and non-SAG work and yada, yada, yada. And eventually, hopefully, you'll get a co-star role on a TV show. And they were, I was blown away. I didn't understand it was such a system.
Yeah.
So it was very humbling, like, oh, okay. Like this, this isn't just, because I've always just been a guy that just does my own projects. Or if someone I know has something, I'll be in something. But as far as the business end of it, that's what I got humbled to really quickly. And realized, like, okay, this is a marathon out here. It is not a sprint.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that, just knowing that, I'm like, okay, it's not a rush out here because you will get burnt out very quickly. I had an acting teacher say, he's like, every year, he was just throwing a number out, 1,500 people who are the best of the best from where they come from come out here, thinking that they're just going to be a star. He's like, they're gone within a year or two. So I'm serious when I say 10 years is an accomplishment.
Oh, thank
out
you.
here.
Yeah.
You know, it
yeah.
is.
And so this is the other thing where a lot of people will come out here and sort of assume that they're going to be discovered and that suddenly their life will change. And all of a sudden they're like the lead role in a film that everyone's going to see. And there might be 1 or 2 people that happens to.
Yeah.
But for every overnight success, like there are other people that are putting in their 10,000 hours and plus, especially in the field of entertainment in Los Angeles. So when you first got started and you had that like humbling moment of like, okay, I've got to start somewhere.
Pay my dues.
Yeah. Is that where you sort of started creating for yourself and actually like making these opportunities for yourself at the same time?
Yeah, and actually Playhouse West, they were really good. And you guys were at the Produce Your Passion event.
Yeah.
Yes,
thank
it
you
was
again
wonderful.
for coming. You guys
Yeah.
sat
It was-
front row. Wolf, as you
Right.
saw,
Yeah.
he was one of my main teachers, and he's, you know, the creative director of the school. We would have film competitions, film festivals. So they were very encouraging to go out there and make your own stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
So my creative tribe, if you will, that was in my class, we were just started going out and making movies, shooting short films, and just having a blast.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic, let me just say, LA's still great. Don't get me wrong, but like before, like the shutdowns and all that, like I thought LA. I'm like, this is the most ridiculously awesome place that's ever existed.
Yeah.
I'm in acting class. We're shooting movies on the weekends. I'm going
Yeah.
to the beach. I'm like, this place rocks.
Right.
It still does.
Yeah.
But like I was on that beginner's high out here, if you will. So that really, and I've always been someone that did my own projects. So I'm just like, okay, whether I get booked in something or not, what I love most about here is just the network.
Yeah.
The people, the density of talent. There are amazing artists in every single city, but I think mile for mile out here, however you would measure it, there's just so much talent
Yeah.
in so many things.
I think that that's partly why, I mean, a lot of people move here is because, yeah, there's, you know, it's still a little bit the wild, wild west. But what's interesting is that when you ask about, you know, the challenges of moving to LA, I think that for anybody who wants to move out here, it's a fantastic place, but you have to find a community fast because the city is huge. I mean, it's like from Santa Monica to
Altadena.
But we're talking
Yeah.
about stuff sometimes like in North Hollywood, and I'm like, North Hollywood, it's like an hour from here. It's like it's on the map, it doesn't look far, but you add traffic and freeways, and it's like you might as well go abroad. So, but if you find a community, this place becomes magic.
Yeah.
And I think that for you and for you as well, you've built that reasonably fast. Because I think that people who move here and don't have that, this place is dreadful.
Yes.
Because it's way too big. And so I'm glad you're bringing that up because community and people in LA are really cool.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot on the show, actually, which is like the importance of community. And that doesn't just mean in the design industry or for, any specific kind of art. It's really whatever it is that you want to do here. You can't do it in isolation. You have to pair with other people and work with new people. And I know that for me, like my network has changed so many times since I've been in LA, and sort of everything that I've been working on or anything that I've done, you find other people that are doing that and you're like, how can I support you in this? And not just asking for support, but being willing to be the supportive one, to show up for other people. I think that is really what's valuable about the community here.
I agree completely with both of you. I have to piggyback off that.
Yeah.
The thing that's great about here, this is no disrespect to the Midwest where we're from, because I love it. Great place to grow up.
Yeah.
But it's just not as the norm for some of these things. And, you tell people, I got this idea, I'm going to do this.
Right.
And we're going to do that. And then people are like, why would you do that? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
That's not logical. But out here, it's like, oh, that's really cool. How can I help you?
Yeah.
Right. I know someone who
Exactly.
can help us and everybody.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's just, you're right. The community. It's so important. What blows my mind out here, because I go to a lot of networking events too, in just random areas and places all throughout. I've even down even Orange County.
Okay.
It is mind blowing how many groups of people are out here in communities.
Yeah.
Every time I think of like, oh yeah, I've pretty much tapped everything in this area right here. You'll find a new group. Oh no, we've been meeting for the last 20 years. Like, I'm just like, what? Even like here where we're at here, it's like I've driven through here, but never to this specific spot. It's just there's so much here.
There's so
Right.
much
So
here.
much.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just, I was actually just talking to someone yesterday. So I've mentioned on here, I do eyelash extensions. I don't do it as much anymore, but I have a couple of clients that I'm really dedicated to taking care of. I love them. I've been doing lashes for like 15 years or something like that. And I was like working on a client, and there was someone else who was also like doing another service for her at the same time. And she was an actor. And when she came out here, her first film was Titanic.
Oh.
I know. So she has a very unique story, but it was really fascinating to talk to her about the industry and talk to her about what it used to be like. And, she said, back when I first got started, if you got an audition, you had to drive across town to pick up your sides. And then when you were there, they would tell you when your audition was going to be. And then you'd have to go and do your work and do your craft. And then you'd come back in, and your first audition, not just your callback, your first audition was always in front of, like, it was, you get into a room full of people that look just like you, and you have to show up and do your absolute best. And there is a difference between where we are now, where everything is so online, and you don't have to be in a room with other people who look like you. You don't know who else you're up against. Right. You're submitting a self-tape, and you're kind of doing it in isolation, and it kind of allows everyone to do that too. And this is something Laurent and I were talking about earlier, where if I am submitting a self-tape, I don't know how many other people are doing it. I don't know how many other people are going out for the part, or how they're doing it, or what they're doing. And because it becomes so isolating, it opens it up to a broader group of people. So more people can show up for an audition, but it doesn't feel like a community. It doesn't feel like you're a part of an industry until you're in the room. Do you feel like for you, like in doing auditions, or even if you're working on your own, do you feel like there are some moments where you're like, I feel disconnected and I want to connect? And when you do feel like reaching out or building a connection with someone or being around other people, what is the first place that you go? Is it your acting studio or is it elsewhere? Do you have other communities that you tap into?
Well, I'll be transparent. I don't really audition
Okay, gotcha.
that much. But to your point, I've helped a lot of people with self-tapes.
Yeah.
And I've done some auditions here and there, especially several years back. But from what I gather, some people want it to be the old way. Like there's pros and cons, right? The new way is great because, I don't have to go anywhere. Like we all know LA traffic. Like
it's nice.
I don't have to drive over to whatever. But I heard someone say once, like, they don't even know if their audition's getting seen.
Yeah.
How do you know if they saw it?
Yeah.
What if they just saw the first 12? Oh, yeah, this one will work.
Yeah.
And they don't even open up the other ones. And then there's something about being in the room with whatever you're doing. I think the digital world that we're heading toward, there's going to be great things about it. I think there's not great things about it. I think the need for in-person community is going to be pivotal.
Absolutely.
And I mean, as you're talking about auditioning, I'm thinking about all these stories of actors I've heard, like you said, like on one of your podcasts, with Abby or Ari.
Ari, yeah.
Yeah, you guys showed up at the same
Yeah,
audition.
we were at the same audition.
It's one of those things where you get to know everyone. Like, oh, you're going for this part too? Cool. And it's like, best of luck, because we all know that it's out of our control. It's not like me versus you directly. Right. They're going to pick who they're going to pick for whatever reason. So,
and when you get rid of that like competition, that's how you build community. And that's what we've talked about with interior designers too. And in that industry where many people will be up for the same job and it's a great big project, but like there's sometimes that you'll know that a project's not for you, and you know what, you should look at this other person because they are someone who's really talented. And every once in a while when I have like gotten a part or when I've gotten an audition and I'm working on it, I'll still have in my mind, I'm like, oh man, I wish that my friend could audition because they would do this part so well. And they would be really great at this, and having that community in mind when you're doing the work also, I feel like that's something that's really special.
Well, and same with podcasting, right? If a big time designer hits me up, I'm like, hey, you guys need to go to Clutter Bravado.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I think that the community, the face-to-face is so important. I mean, I think that we are in an environment where too much technology, and I think that is just not good. I mean, and Elise has brought me to an event that Second Draft where it's a bunch of writers and actors who get together, and the energy in that room is absolutely fantastic. And I think that everyone is learning, everyone is growing. Same way when we do an event here or when we have designers get together, there's an energy, there's a sharing of information that makes everybody better. We grow from that, and I think that if we are just on our phone or just on there's a place for it. There's a place to look at information online, but if that's all you have, we're dead in the water. I mean, we're going to stop growing, and at the end of the day, I believe that a place like LA that's become really successful for entertainment is because people are sharing, people are learning, because there are schools, because you go to an acting class, there's 10, 12, 15 people that are really giving it a go. Now, it doesn't matter if you're going to be successful or not, you're giving it a go, you're growing from that. And I am more and more convinced that technology is actually not going to lead us to the right. But I also feel, and maybe it's just me, I feel like we're humans and we're fighting it like it's instinctive. We feel that there's something no good.
It's changing.
Yeah.
It's changing what, there's a podcast I was listening to, because, a lot of people will go, well, what's the difference from, it was horse and buggy and then it was car. We survived.
Yeah.
Right.
But someone said the difference is speed and scale. Because it's not just horse and buggy and car. Everything's changing at once.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I totally align with you on that. I completely agree.
And I think that horse and buggy, and it didn't change. It didn't impact as much the human relationship.
Sure.
It got us to A to B in faster. But now it's like it's the core of who we are that's changing, and that is what we need to
I don't figure out but change. But for me, I'm like more and more. I mean, every day I'm like, technology is just not my friend.
Well, one thing that is
Yeah.
pretty great though about technology is like what we're doing right now is we
Absolutely.
have a podcast, and so anyone who's listening to this is able to hear a real genuine conversation between people. Like the connection that we have, we get to share that with others. And I obviously encourage people, like if you're listening to podcasts a lot, like also go out and have conversations with people because you get to have the experience we're having, which I will say that having this podcast and doing this for over a year now has given me so much more information from a personal level, anecdotally, about the state of a handful of different industries and what it's like to start with nothing and grow into where you are, or, you know, whatever people's trajectories are or their stories and their inspirations. You get to really create, like I said, a connection there with other creatives. So I want to talk to you about your podcast and how you got started with it. What was your inkling? Like, what was the first thing that you're like, ooh, I think I should start a podcast about this? What was the kernel idea that started everything?
Yeah, no, great question. So I leave Vegas, I come here.
Mm-hmm.
I had other projects in Vegas going on. Like it became all about acting because going to Playhouse West was like another job.
Mm-hmm.
You had to rehearse multiple times a week. There's class twice a week. And if you don't show up prepared, everyone knows you don't show up prepared.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that person. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go all in on this right now. And I love how you said that you can go out and I always call, like whenever I'm talking to someone on the phone or out and about, I'm like, oh, we just did a podcast. You know,
Yeah.
you can have these moments and experiences. And, you know, at Playhouse West and I was in LA, I just started having these really in-depth, deep conversations, like in parking lots after class or wherever, because, you know, you're meeting people in LA we're all doing different things, but we're all cut from the same cloth at the same time.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're just talking about so many different things. And I'm like, man, I had done interviewing in other projects in Vegas, a show called The Social Media Show, which we're bringing back as well.
Okay.
But I had done a lot of interviewing already. And I'd always had in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'd really like just to do a podcast. And I have to say it, Joe Rogan, I used to listen to a lot in the beginning. Because he was the guy. He was doing these long form 3-4 hour podcasts. I'm like, that's what I want to do. I don't want to do a 15-20 minute thing.
Yeah.
I want to sit down and flush out a real long conversation. So that was always brewing in the back of my mind. Pandemic happens. I remember it was funny because I was just really getting ready. Like, all right, got my 2 years of acting training, got some stage time now, got the resume built, time to get a manager. And I remember like, oh, world shuts down.
Oh, yeah.
Getting emails back like, hey, we're not doing anything right now. Like, well, I'm like, oh man, what are we going to do? And for me, it always starts with a domain name.
Oh, okay.
So I knew, once the idea gets impregnated into my mind, if you will, it's like, okay, this won't leave. It won't leave.
Yeah.
It won't go away. And this is where Produce Your Passion comes from too. And I remember going to namecheap.com where I get my domains and I type in the samdeverpodcast.com. It's available. I buy it along with samdeverpodcast.com. And I'm like, I post it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm making myself accountable. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm like, all right, how am I going to do this? And it really just took, because we had the time. No one was really doing anything. So coordinated my first one I did in Vegas and had my cameras that I had set up. I bought a cheap Amazon recorder that I just plugged into my laptop and clipped us both up with, and we went. And actually, the first 10 minutes it wasn't plugged in. So
Oh my God.
it was a great
Great learning curve. Yeah, it's
Listen,
like,
it's happened to us.
it's happened to
But
us.
see, I wouldn't have learned that if I wouldn't have started.
Yeah, exactly.
So once I got episode 1, then it's like, all right, let's do episode 2, and it's been a snowball ever since.
Yeah, and you have 143 episodes?
143 out with 144 on the way, and you
Nice.
two will be 145.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited
I'm
to
already
do your show
think-
too.
yeah.
And you'll be 53.
Ooh,
Or sorry, 54. 54.
Congrats on
Yeah.
that milestone, by the
Thank
way.
you.
You guys put in a lot of work. That's
Yeah,
Awesome.
getting past 50 episodes is like that's the hump, you know, once you can get past it. But there are a lot of people that start podcasts and then sort of abandon them because there isn't in the industry of podcasting, there isn't an overnight success.
No.
Unless you start a podcast and you are already a celebrity, you have a following that is just dying to hear you talk more. That is a great way to start a podcast and become instantly successful. But for those of us that don't have the household names and we have great conversations and great guests, you really have to build it from the ground up. So what was the building process for you?
That we're still in.
We're still in it.
Well, and there's a term called pod fade.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a very interesting topic because even people that are famous and super celebrities and do get a lot of traction, a lot of them still quit too.
Really?
And I realize it's because this is so much work.
Yeah.
It is so much work. That's why I say with much appreciation having me on, because I know how much goes into this.
Yeah.
It's not just, we come on and record and we put it. There's so much planning and execution and distribution that go into it. So for me, the process was, okay, let's just get it on its legs first.
Yeah.
That was step one. So I had gotten to episode 5 and was getting some momentum, and it was actually kind of good timing because no one was doing as much.
Yeah.
And I was doing in person when I could, safely and at a distance during that time.
Yeah.
But I'm like, people are like, hey, no, not too many people are doing this right now. And then I have a major severe leg injury.
Oh,
That's a whole other podcast. But,
Yeah.
So that derailed everything. And I didn't podcast for 8 months.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
And a buddy and I have to give him shout out, Tommy, he was very encouraging, a fan of the show. And he was like, hey, just start doing these virtually. And I'm like, no, I do in person.
Yeah.
I can't do it till I do in person. He's like, just do it. And then I realized, I'm like, you know what? At least getting back on the horse and doing it is better. And to anyone it's analysis paralysis. You're like, if it can't be this way, then I can't do it. You don't get your way all the time. Like sometimes you have to compromise to get the project off the ground. So I start doing, I actually did the first one on Skype of all places.
Yeah.
Switched to Zoom and I bang out like 40 of these, found a rhythm.
Yeah.
Was banging these out like a couple a week and was so great about it. I got my reps in. Because in the beginning I was saying and you learn the more you do this, how to, move the conversation. And then finally, you'll meet him, Eric Sarich. He was filming the Produce Your Passion
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. Yeah.
event
We
out
met
there.
him.
Yeah. When him and I combined forces, because I was one-man banding it, cameras were going dead, and I was having to stop in the middle. Hey, let me reset this, and it just would take me out of the conversation. And then when he came in to alleviate me from that, and then it's been cooking ever since.
Wow, yeah.
But even with that, that's been a learning process. Every podcast we do, we look back and like, oh, we could have done that better.
Right.
That could have been lined up a little better. I call it game tape.
Yeah.
I'm looking back and saying, oh, you know what? I should have this and that. And it's how you learn. So to answer your question, it's an ever going process. I was in a conversation with a bunch of artists last night. We were talking about mastery. You never fully completely master anything when you want to keep learning. There's always something to learn. Even I think it was De Niro, Pacino, one of these guys, they will still train with an acting teacher. And you're like, why the heck would they do that? Because there's still stuff to learn.
Yeah.
If they can pick up one thing in their craft, ooh, I never thought of that before. I can add this to my tool belt. I think I don't know if that answers the question completely.
No, it really does.
Yeah.
Actually, I really like where you're going with that too, because thinking that you know everything doesn't allow you to learn something new. And that's where you stop growing. And when you stop growing, that's the death of whatever it is that you're doing. And I feel like in every episode that I'm editing, I'm learning something new about how we can do it differently. And I'm challenging myself to ask a different kind of question or word things in a different way. But also it's the editing process and the sound recording. That's why anytime that someone's finding our podcast for the first time, I'm like, start with the newer ones and then work your way back.
Your episode 1 is stellar.
Oh, thank
Stellar.
you. Thank you.
Jeff
We
is
love
his name.
Jeff.
Jeff
Yeah.
Sod. He's
Jeff is-
incredible. I love him so much.
Ear candy. I mean,
Yeah. We're
So
going to
many
have him back
gems.
on
We're
for
being-
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
so many.
We need to.
Yeah, but you've had a lot of different kinds of guests
Yeah.
on your show, and they have a lot of different stories. So do you have some, like, one that really stands out to you of like a real big learning moment for you, or something that sort of pivoted your career based on a conversation you've had?
Wow, that's a good one. Because you're right. There's been a diverse. It started with a lot of acting, artist-based stuff, and then it just kind of went everywhere in a good way. So I actually had the doctor who performed my nerve surgery on my leg on.
Wow.
Shout out to Dr. Mitch Soria. And one thing that I actually told this story last night to some people. Of course, I know he's extremely trained, knows what he's doing, obviously. But on the podcast, he said, yeah, I before I was, quote unquote, out on my own, I studied for 17 years.
Right.
Wow, yeah.
Medical school, apprenticeship, fellowship. I'm paraphrasing it, but to do the type of work he does, you just don't go graduate medical school and like, all right, throw him in the water. It's like, no, you got to go train with people for years.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that always stuck with me, and especially in a microwave digital society where everyone wants to be famous now, they want results now. The art of delayed gratification has been lost. And that one really just reminded me of like, okay, don't get distracted by shiny objects and comparison syndrome on Instagram or social media. And even same thing, like we'll come out with a podcast episode of like, oh, this is the best it's ever done. And then in my For You page or whatever, like, oh, this person just started and they got 500,000 views.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, that's their path. You can't get caught up in their path. I just saw a clip from Harrison Ford, of all people. And he said, don't try to copy the route that someone else went.
Right.
Not that you can't take from it, but I understood what he was saying. That person's path is that person's path. If it happened for them at age 18 and they blow, cool. Some people, it happens down the line.
Yeah.
It's all different.
Yeah.
You know, so that one in particular, we have one coming out, episode 144. His name's Will Pounder.
Yeah.
That one's going to be a ride.
Wow.
It will probably be out around the time this one is out.
Okay, great.
That took me down and has sent me on. So, I mean, I'm human consciousness, space, where do we really come from?
Yeah.
The true history of the world, that type of thing.
Oh,
nice.
wow. That's fantastic.
I'm into that type
Yeah.
of stuff.
I also am, yeah.
Yeah, so that one really got my wheels turning and thinking, because especially in a world where there's so much chaos right now, or so much tension, if you will, like I've been just having this thought of, okay, let's take a bird's eye view for a second. If I'm an alien civilization, which they might be coming in November, I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
I love it.
But it's like, are they going to like actually be curious, or then go, you know what, I think we can bypass Earth.
Yeah.
I don't think they've figured it out yet, because they
Exactly,
keep having the same problem over
Right.
and over. And to your point about community, and that's why I really love what you guys are doing. You guys set a good example of. You make me fall more in love with Los Angeles, hearing about doing the things that you guys are doing, the museums, the plays, the human connection.
Yeah.
We need to get off these devices
Yeah.
and get face to face and talking, because even if we have differences, hey, we can talk this out. Let's explore perspectives here.
Yeah.
So I was went off
But that's actually that's right there, because that's something that's really beautiful about what it is that we get to do.
Yeah.
We get to have conversations that are about real, honest experiences and find our similarities more than our differences. And if we wanted to get wild ratings, we could yell at each other and find all of our differences and try to put each other down. But I'm like the place in my heart that I know that I want to create and bring out into the world is a place where you can have a decent conversation with someone and be curious about them and want to learn more about their life experience and allow that to affect you, allow yourself to learn from that. And I agree with you that no two people have the same path, and all that social media has done for me is given me examples of people that have had paths that I would have preferred.
That's a good
But at the same time, I don't know what their experience was like. I can see what their highlight reel is. And there are probably some people that see me online that are like, oh, she's, done all of these like little things, because I put my highlights on there. I don't put the days that I can't get out of bed because I'm so sad or depressed, or if there's something that I'm going through that I'm struggling with and not able to get over, I don't put that online, and neither does anyone else. We don't show our ugly moments. Or our failures, our fears of failure. We are able to, however, in person, have those conversations, because that's where we can connect. And something about podcasting that is really, really special is that we can bring those conversations into a place that is, while so divided, we do get to create connection. And someone might hear me at some point say something that they're like, oh, I feel that same way. I don't have to be alone in this moment. And I encourage everyone, if you are listening to this and you feel that, again, go have this conversation with someone, or like call me on the phone or something. But but as you know, as a host of a podcast, we get to share that experience with other people, and that's something that's really special about it.
Well said.
Thank you. So I want to ask one more question, because you put out a book this year called Produce Your Passion.
Yes.
And I went to your Produce Your Passion event, and we talked about that on the show. And it was a really, really special experience. So tell me about what the process of putting that project out looked like for you.
Yeah. No, and thanks again for coming. It was an honor to have.
It was
both of you
fantastic.
there.
It was really
Yeah.
great.
It was
yeah.
really great.
Yeah, and shout out to Hidari of Gula World that allowed us to come out and host it there in Malibu. Such a magical night that
Yeah.
was. And so I had taken a speaking program over a year ago. I'll try to keep this high level. I was actually at a podcast conference.
Okay.
I connected with this speaking group, and they're like, "Hey, have you ever thought about public speaking? You can market your podcast that way." And then again, thinking back to views, and I'm like, "Oh, we got to get this
Yeah.
out here. So let's do this." And I get with my coach, and she was like, "Okay, cool. What are you going to talk about?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I should probably think about that." And I kind of had that imposter syndrome of, well, I'm not famous. I've never been financially successful, quote unquote, off any of my artistic projects. I've always just done it. And I've just spent money on it. I'm not one of those guys that's like, here, learn how to make 10 grand in 30 days with my program. I'm not that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And nor do I care to be.
And most of those people aren't making 10 grand.
Yeah, they're making money off you paying them.
Exactly.
That they think, that's a whole, yeah. One of the best things I've ever heard Mark Cuban say was, he said, when you hear those programs, they're not rich, they're getting rich off of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually. So I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well, one thing I've always just done it. Like I said, this idea will get in my head and it will not go away. It will not go away until I bring it to life, or at least see what it could be. And I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, I'm a producer. Like I like to produce things, make things, whether I'm behind the camera or in front of it. And I'm like, well, what is that? I'm like, well, these are passions. I'm like, produce your passion. Back to the website thing. If it's not available, I'm not doing it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, it's available. Social media handles are available. I'm like, all right, speech topic. This is what I'm going to do. I developed the keynote. And then after I did that, it's like, okay, now you're going to go try to book speaking gigs, which I could try to do, but I just felt like, I'm like, okay, we're on to something, but this isn't what I'm supposed to do with this. This isn't complete. So I'm like, I need a logo. I need a website. I'm like, oh, might as well do a podcast with it. I'm like, well, I wrote this keynote, which those are hard to do, by the way.
They are not easy. Yeah.
It's like 30, 45. I'm like, well, I pretty much got a book already here. Let's do the book. So I just said, I'm going to do all this. It was such a heavy lift.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
Crazy,
it was a
yeah.
lot of work. But I did it. It's a very simple book, but it's like, I believe in all of this that's here. So yeah, that's really, long story short, started from a speech training, which led to coming up with a complete brand, which we just got officially trademarked.
Amazing.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, the
Right.
Sam Dever podcast and Produce Your Passion are now officially trademarked. So
Beautiful.
I'm like, I believe, because with Produce Your Passion, it may turn into a nonprofit one day.
Yeah.
Because I believe in this concept so much.
Yeah.
Because it's the thing I keep myself accountable with. When I'm not getting something done, I'm like, all right, how are you going to produce your passion with this? Oh, that fell through financially. All right.
Yeah.
MacGyver. Figure it out. Like, what?
Yeah.
How can you make this work without money being an excuse? And the most interesting thing about it has been when I opened up the podcast portion of it, and now doing events with panels of people. I'm like, oh, this isn't about me at all.
Yeah.
This is about everyone else, what they think, because the ideas and the concepts other people have
Right.
told me, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, wow. So it's been a good lesson too in taking the ego out of it, because a lot of times it's Sam Dever this and Sam Dever that. Nothing wrong with that, but
Yeah.
this is like, no, this is this is what I want to give to the world.
Yeah.
With this and help people. And when I have someone come up to me after an event or send me a message like, I really got a lot out of that I needed to hear that message today. It's probably same on your podcast. When you hear someone say that, that's what keeps you going.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who needs it, and you don't know who he needs to hear it. And we get caught up in numbers. I do too. All of that. But when you have those individual people tell you like, no, that significantly impacted me, that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
Because that's purpose.
Yes.
I'm all about purpose now.
Yeah. So in your one sentence, how do you describe what Produce Your Passion is?
Overcoming obstacles to become your most authentic self and bring your vision to life.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And we all sort of have examples in our lives of like ways that we've done that. You've created your own short films and put out some of your art. I've like wrote a one woman show because I wanted a place to showcase all the things that I do, and I put them all on stage, and I love it. I'm going to be putting that show up again soon, fingers crossed.
Yep.
Yes.
I will be there.
Yeah. Pickled, a one woman show. And do you feel like you've had the opportunity to produce your passion?
Yeah, I mean, I have produced several passions, and it's, but it's interesting because this conversation and reminding me of Jeff, and I know it's the love of people that keep us going.
Yeah.
When you said a lot of podcasts, people even with big names stop. I do believe that we do that because I'll talk. I love people. Like I just get a kick out of, I was excited to see you today. I was, it's like it's the one highlight in my week, not the one, but it's one highlight where we share something, we meet someone, it becomes, you become part of our community, and I love that. And I love, even for anything, that's why we do it. I mean, that's why I do it with you. And we're, you and I are having a ton of fun doing it. I know you do the editing.
I do all the
So
heavy lifting of it. It's fine. Like
don't-
you
I
do
don't
get
have
to
that part.
participate in the fun part. Yeah.
I do participate in the fun part, but yeah, the love, loving people, and that's what keeps us going. And then it becomes, as we've been going, it becomes a little broader in the sense that it's the love of LA and having, and so it's cool that way. But yeah, listening to you, I'm like, yeah, I know why you're doing it, because you do love people.
Yeah.
It's like it's palpable for you. I mean, you Produce Your Passion. That event was not for you; it was for everybody that was there, and that was just like really fun to see. And that's kind of that's what you do.
One podcast that I did that really shifted my perspective and thinking on a particular topic. I had Rose Donahue and Ian Harvey. They're really big in the BTQ or community.
LGBTQ,
trans community. They had a short film about the trans community, and Ian is a trans man. And I nothing ever against it. I'm all about whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
Do who you are. And that's what I love about LA too, is you don't have to be afraid to be who you are out here. Ian told the story. That's why I love long form, because you really get to flush stuff out.
Yeah.
When Ian told his journey it wasn't like an overnight thing, but like a multiple decade process of this transformation.
Yeah.
And he had this moment where I forgot what age, but we just had all these questions about identity and who am I, and then met his first trans man ever that he didn't even know existed. He said he just started to bawl and cry.
Wow.
And I literally was taken aback by that, because I'm like, wow, who are any of us to tell anybody who you are or why you can't do something? And I'm just using him as an example. And we've talked about it publicly, so I think he'd be fine with it. But I really gave me a lesson of, don't judge anybody. Like, you don't know people's backstory. You do not know what they've been through. You only have your own perception of the world and your experience. And that's what I love about what you guys do in this conversation is it's just a reminder, like, man, there's so much out there.
Yeah.
There's so many people who have done it. I can't wait to get you two on my podcast. Just trust me, I've been holding back asking you guys stuff. I saw some of that furniture out there. That's producing your passion. We got a lot to talk about.
It is a passion,
but I guess that's the beauty of podcasting is us putting it out. It's fun. If we get a bunch of views and likes, cool. But it's like, man, like having these discoveries that I don't think you'd get any other way sometimes.
Yeah. When you allow yourself to be curious and let any like judgment or fear sort of like fall away, and you let someone's story be the truth, their truth, you really get to connect with them. You really get to know them, and you learn something about yourself in the process too. Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So we do have to wrap up.
Okay.
So there are 3 questions that I ask all of our guests, and I'm gonna change them around a little bit for you, since you're not an interior designer, but you are a creative. So we're gonna get a little bit creative with the questions too. So first one, as I ask everyone, what's the messiest place in your home?
The living room.
Yes. No way.
I'm
We've
gonna
never
call it-
had
First
that
one.
one. That's
First
the
one?
Yeah.
Organized clutter, as I will call it. I knew that question was coming. I'm like, I hope she. Now, if you were to ask me right at this moment, my bathroom as I was getting ready to come here, like, but that it'll be clean when you guys arrive. But my living room, because that's really my studio.
Okay.
And now with Produce Your
Right.
Passion, because we've all done the Sam Dever podcast in there, so we have. I have a lot of my books in there. I have camera equipment, tripods, all these things. But now with Produce Your Passion, I bought it for our Vegas event. I bought my own PA system now.
Oh, wow.
That's
Oh,
a
wow.
big box.
Yeah.
I have roughly 20 some chairs
Oh my
now
gosh. Yeah.
that you sat in at Malibu that I took to, like, it's like, I got chairs now. I can put on events, but
Yeah.
it's LA. We don't have that much space a lot of times.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, for now, they're in the living room.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a tight squeeze sometimes.
So it's your storage space too, because that's what you kind of have to do.
Yeah.
You know, when you don't have a lot of space, that kind of makes sense. My office is my dining room in my apartment, so I mean, you gotta make do with what you have. Yeah. Okay. So second question for you: what is your favorite place to create?
Where? I'm going to have to say at my computer, and that's usually at my desk.
Okay.
I've always been a creation station type of guy.
Okay.
Because I'm very, even if I'm not working on something musical or something that I've always had like putting on headphones.
Okay.
I like to stand up.
Oh,
Sometimes.
yeah.
Like I get into it.
Do you have a standing
Oh,
desk?
wow.
I don't, but I need one.
Okay, yeah. My sister has one, and she's told me that she really loves it because like it allows her, like if she needs to stand up and move around, she can, work from there. If she wants to sit down, she can. Like you have a lot more versatility in that too. But yeah, I like the idea. Like we've talked to a few people recently, and like what the creative process is, and like for me, I'm kind of the same where I'll put on like listen to music, something that's not especially lyrics forward, or I need to be out in public if I'm going to write. Like I need to be in a coffee shop or I need to be out somewhere, like it's we all have our own little methods.
Yeah, in editing stuff too, I'm constantly, staring at a screen. And I'm a pen and paper guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because how it works is I'll get edits back from an editor, and then I'll go through them, and I just take printer paper, have a pen, and it's just chicken scratch. Like no one would be able to read. But that's how I do it. I write everything down. I write everything's. I'm sure you're this way when I'm in conversation. Everything's a clip to me. So I've been learned when I'm hosting the show, just let them talk because we don't know what clip.
Right.
Maybe the one that people are really going to gravitate towards. So don't interrupt their flow. So I'm doing the clips and then I'm emailing back. A lot of staring. I have worked with like the blue light blocker glasses more.
Yeah.
Just staring.
The jury's still out whether those actually work, but I know when I put them on, I feel like I'm doing better work.
Yeah.
So my last question for you is, what is your favorite piece that you have created?
Wow.
It could be your podcast. It could be a short film. It could be music, whatever it is.
Man.
It doesn't have to be one. Make it two.
Yeah, you can make it a couple.
I'm going to say one, and I'm also going to call something out in the
Okay.
future and manifest it here on this podcast.
Beautiful.
'Cause I feel,
Do it. People do
I
it
feel
on the
with
show,
you
and
two,
it works
this is the
so
place
often.
to do it. So I'm going to say as a whole, Sam Dever Productions, because that's what houses everything I do.
Yeah.
They're my creative children. I say it in the book. I have to pay my creative child support each month. The Sam Dever podcast is a child I've birthed. Stuck with it now. Got to take care of it. Produce Your Passion. Oops, had another one. The social media show, another one. It's like that. But Sam Dever Productions, I said when creating it, you know what? If I never make any money at this, it's okay. This is my place I'm creating. No matter what else I'm doing in life,
Right.
I always have a home to have my own little creative kingdom.
Yeah.
And a project that's starting to bubble up now. I'm getting back to music.
Yeah.
My ultimate opus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And now everything, back to the timing thing we were talking before the show. I've built this time in Vegas. I've built this time out here. I know quite a few artists and things and people. I want to create this ultimate musical, theatrical film piece. More to come.
Yes.
But it's begun, like already begun. And I want, hopefully you two will be in it. It's going to be like everybody I know is in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Type of thing.
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. When you can blend all of the things that you do into
All
one
of it.
thing. Yeah. Exactly.
And then I can leave. Take me.
But it's we talk. I mean, I'm different in the sense that my creativity was not as artist. I mean, not as artistic. No, it's more making furniture. So I'm in awe of what you do, and listening to Elise, who thrives when she's on stage or when she sings, or and for you the same. I mean, it's like produce your passion, talk about passion. It's like, and you have to go for it because we live here only once, as far as I know. And so, yeah, you gotta, and I'm sure it's scary. It's a lot of work, but I'm so happy for you. That's why it's I push Elise to put the one women show back on, because she just you thrive at it, and so I can't wait to see that and see you through it. Because that's just when the light comes on like that, it's fun.
Awesome. I love it. It's an honor to know you two, and I'm excited to see your one-woman show.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see you on stage, 'cause it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It'll happen.
Your first scene night, I'm there. I'm there.
Well, thank you so much. And we obviously in the show notes, I'm putting all of your links. There
Okay.
will be everything. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, there have been a bunch of cards going through of where you can link to find the videos that you're referring to. And also your Instagram is it Sam Dever Podcast and Produce Your Passion, or which one do you prefer?
So yeah, I'll keep this really simple for people. I'm a website guy too.
Okay,
so
website, yes.
samdever.com, thesamdeverpodcast.com, samdeverproductions.com, thesocialmediashow.com, produceyourpassion.com.
Beautiful.
Go to those. All the socials are there. And yeah, Sam Dever on Instagram. That will lead you to all the websites.
Amazing.
And so, is there anything in the close future that you want to talk about or coming up?
Yeah, I would just say definitely always churning out the Sam Dever podcast and Produce Your Passion podcast. And also the social media show has been revitalized and we've been live streaming with
And
that.
how do we get your book?
So you can great question. You can buy it on Amazon if you want to support, get the physical copy, or you can go to produceyourpassion.com and download the book for free.
Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sam. And we have a great lunch planned for you. So
I know.
Thank you. This has truly been an honor, and it's a blessing to know you two. It really
Thank
is.
you so much. We feel the same way.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Clutter Bravado is filmed on location at the Kimberly Denman Showroom in Los Angeles, California. For inquiries about our furniture, a directory of our guests, or just to reach out with questions or comments, email us at clutterbravado@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Clutter Bravado. Thank you.